I
was very worried, and for a moment I said, "Oh,
I am so taken aback by.
Should I place a call to you? Should I leave you to your own?" I was just thinking about you. I was worried about you. How did you cope?
I appreciate the worry. I appreciate the concern.
Yeah, and the warmth that I sent to you. How did you cope?
I was very fine.
You're okay.
In fact, when it was raining, my air conditioner was on.
It was on.
Yes.
You are rehearsing for when you jackpot.
So I should tell you, there was no cause for concern.
There was no cause for concern at all.
I had a few things which I needed to do. I needed to sign off on a few things in terms of preparations for today, and so I was.
That's right.
Yeah, I was neck deep in that and having a few snacks. There was no cause.
There were no daughters of Eve wwho came to knock on your door or you call you.
We continue to remain steadfast in the Lord.
You are chaste. Okay. See, Father Eric Mawena Egbeta.
We continue to remain steadfast in the Lord, abiding in Him and Him in us. In all things, we give glory to God.
Command your blessings, O Lord, from the heavens.
And every morning we're with
DJ Phil and his.
But before
DJ Phil, yes, command your morning.
Command your morning as well. And so we are always
Reverend Dr. Bodina Miche.
Absolutely.
Mixing gospel also dish it heavy on Sunday evenings, man, Charlie. Sweet.
Absolutely.
Charlie, but we're back.
Absolutely. Start of a new week. Middle of the month now, right?
No, we're going past the middle of the month. Yesterday was 17th.
In terms of pricing of a few things, which will be top of the conversations.
New window. It's going to open.
A new pricing window has kick-started, and the fuel prices have inched up a bit. You will be buying it, and so you'll be feeling. As for me,
slow down.
My means of conveyance.
Phil will be buying it.
And Jenny.
Yeah, it's normal. You have to go and buy it. You will buy it. If you like, don't buy it. Your car will leave you in the middle of the road. We would always advocate for cheaper fuel.
Absolutely.
We would want it to go down. But sometimes I always go back to the reference point that, Charlie, at some point we were buying a liter of diesel for 23 cedis. A liter. So if you are doing 4.5 liters, you can do the calculus yourself of how much a gallon was costing you. And then you mirror it to this point. We will be asking the big question whether it's a global phenomenon or local incompetencies which is leading us in this direction. We have to ask that question. But
I can tell you freely that the prices on the world market have not eased since all of the conversation started. We're at $111 per barrel.
Right.
For Brent crude, which is a global benchmark in terms
Not long ago, it was about 70, 80
before, I think February, before all of this Israel-Iran-US war started, we were around the 60 regions, and that's where prices were relatively low, right? And so we're at 111, and that continues to be one of the many reasons why. In fact, Trump was in China, and from what we understand, one of the reasons is to help convince Iran into agreeing to a deal and the opening of the
who even
straits
sent them there? Who even sent him there in the first place? Not to China. Who even sent him to go and all this Israel, Iran thing? Who sent him to go into the conversation? It looks like Donald Trump has gotten himself into his hands into a certain kind of pie that he wants to take his hand out of, but it's finding it difficult to eat the humble pie, to say, okay, I got it wrong. Now I'm checking out. I'm sorry about it, because that's what really is happening. And because of the Strait of Hormuz, we are all suffering. Fuel prices are going up, and it's hitting everybody. Somebody needs to sit him down and talk to him. Somebody needs to really sit Donald Trump down and talk to him, because his for want of a better expression, he's misbehaving. That's all. He's misbehaving. Somebody needs to sit him down and talk to him. That Joe, Kathy.
Oh, he's calm these days in terms of.
After he saw his smoothness level, he calmed down.
which have been used in the past, bomb and all of that. A lot of that has reduced, and even the bombings, we understand, has reduced considerably. It's now left to negotiations, which has left the rest of the world still feeling the pinch in terms of global crude prices. But I'm sure we will get into those conversations a lot later as well. But a number of the papers are here, and we'll seek to go through them. A lot more rain is expected as well. I think from the weekend I saw videos of places that have been engulfed in.
So yesterday I was driving through town, and it was not just rainy. You could feel the wind in the rain, and you could feel it hit the car.
Yeah.
You know, at some point. So you had to hold on to the steering wheel
properly.
If not, Charlie, it could drift you off, and you'd I don't know where I would have ended. So it's important that during this period we are all very careful. There's another thing. Ghana Water Company has announced that we'll have some water challenges sometime this week.
Yeah.
It's raining. Are we harvesting rainwater? Back in the day, it was the culture to harvest rainwater and to use rainwater for the good of the people. Even though we say sometimes it's hard water, it doesn't ladder the way you want it to ladder. And all of that.
Rainwater is not hard water.
Well, there are people who say it's hard water, and that's why I'm going back to it, because back in the day when you used to, did you come to meet Brilliant bar soap, the blue one?
I did, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You wash with Brilliant or key soap in rainwater. It takes time before it lathers. It lathers, yeah. So that's why some people say it's hard water. But the culture of harvesting rain itself is supposed to be encouraged again. And if we're not going to get water, you're not able to wake up at midnight like Mawena, because you have to study late into the night, sleep for a brief period, and wake up right after midnight. You can't stay up to harvest water from Ghana Water Company.
That is not your portion at all.
It's not your portion. So if I were you, once I see the clouds gather, I'd line up a few bowls and receptacles, and put them there, and then it rains, it stores water for me. I wake up the next morning, whether Ghana Water is supplying water or not, I know that I'm getting some water to bath with and do some small household.
When they build, they do they create a receptacle,
the receivers,
and then they connect via the roofs onto. And some have been ingenious about it. They add filters of some sort through the machines which pump the water into the house. If you don't have that option, I mean, we
just harvest the
just
water.
Put buckets, and basins, and whatever
by the edge of the roof, and Charlie, you're there.
That's good enough for
good enough water,
a day or two.
Good volume, not paid for, free of charge, and it's good water as well, not contaminated, and you're fine.
But it will be important as well for us to understand and appreciate why Ghana Water says it cannot.
They told us their pipes are
available.
old. The siltation happening is affecting their pumps, power supply as well. I mean, these are the 4 reasons that I remember that they mentioned. That based on these, we're going to have challenges. Aside that, I don't know what else there is, unless there's something more that you want to share with the rest of the wonderful world.
So on their handles, I know that they are shutting down the Kpeve treatment plant due to extreme turbidity levels. That was from the weekend, and so let me see the catchment areas for the Kpeve. So residents of the whole municipality and surrounding communities, that operations at the Kpeve treatment plant have been temporarily suspended due to extremely high turbidity levels in the raw water source as a result of rains in recent times. Rains, weather is causing turbidity. The current turbidity levels have exceeded the acceptable operational threshold required for safe and effective water treatment, thereby rendering continued production technically unsafe and operationally unfeasible. And the ongoing rains have significantly increased the movement of sediment, silt, and other pollutants in the raw water source, resulting in turbidity levels far beyond the treatment capacity. And so, that's the situation. Then they also announced in
Accra West,
western part of Accra, which was to be Dansuman, Mamprobi, Matai, Kolatabi, Okoshi, Kolebu, La Paz, McCarthy Hill, Bawe, Malam, Tesano, Dakoma, North Kaneshi, Dome, Achimota, Anya, Blinkuma, and surrounding communities. They also were to experience a bit of challenges, and they said, as a result of the situation, so the plant is currently experiencing technical challenges. But that was a week ago, roughly a week ago, and so it will be important to know if there's been an update.
The problem or the issues are supposed to take effect this week. So that's why I'm advising that it's raining. It's going to rain some more. We are told by the Ghana Met. Take advantage and harvest rainwater. It's also important if you have a reservoir at home, store enough water in it because you will need it. You will definitely need it. So store water.
On rains, and I think this perhaps will be the last one before we get into our papers. The way it exposes the poor construction of roads. So roads are particularly inner communities and what have you. After it rains once or twice, then craters begin to develop on the roads, and it actually worsens the state of the road before it was.
Do you know the game called Owari?
Yeah, I know Owari.
You know Owari. Phil, do you know Owari? Owari, the game.
The game Owari.
You know when you drive on our roads, it looks like
you
Owari.
Can play
like
Owari
it's
on
a
the
perpetual Owari for God. I don't know why we have road inspectors, we have engineers, we have people at the Ministry of Roads, people at AESL, people are picked as consultants, because there's always a client, contractor, and consultant. They're picked up. We know what they are supposed to be doing. So when these roads are constructed and they go and give a clean bill of health, come and take their certificate and get the monies paid to them, what exactly are they trying to do? Are they trying to help us, or are they trying to cripple us for good? It's a question that we must ask them, and we will wait for the answers when they are ready to deliver the answers in record time, though. But again, you have roads that are constructed, it rains heavily, like you mentioned, and the road becomes very bad. You have roads that are constructed in 2 days, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, 3 months, the road is bad. Under a year is gone from bad to worse. And there are roads in this country that have been there for so long that have not had that kind of situation. So the question is, what really do our contractors think about when they get onto those roads? Do they think about themselves first? About how much profit they can make? About the people who are depending on them, who would be calling them? Or do they think about the nation called Ghana? The nation called Ghana deserves better. That's all. And so far, and I've seen the Minister for Roads and Highways, Governs Kwame Agboja, MP for Adaklu, and also former Deputy Whip in Parliament, now Minister for Roads and Highways. I've seen him so livid about some contractors who have been giving jobs,
are not turning
up. Look, even though they have the capacity to do it, they are not turning up to do the work. And he's lamenting them. I would, if I had my way, I would advise him that he needs to speak to the Attorney General properly before moving to say, I want to terminate this, I want to terminate that, because it's a contract, offer acceptance and consideration. So it's a proper contract that has been done. So you can't just stand in the middle of an uncompleted road and then make declarations. However, he is not wrong from calling the people to order and saying that, look, you, Mawena, we gave you this stretch from TV3 to Prudential Bank on the Kanda Road, and you have not delivered. And we are wondering why we have not delivered, because there are many others who are standing by, waiting for that same job that you have, that you are playing with. If you don't do what you have to do, we will have to deal with you. I like his approach. And the fact that he says that, look, we have to say it in the afternoon. Typical Everman. He said we have to say it in the afternoon so everybody will hear. We don't have to say it at night or too early in the morning when people are still asleep, or late in the night when people are going to bed. In the afternoon when everybody is active, agile, and alive and well, then that's when we say it. So kudos to the Roads Minister, Governs Kwame Agboja, for calling our people. The other leg of that conversation is that we just don't want you to call out to people, say, if the people don't deserve to be there, sack them. Take the contract away from them and give the contracts to people who are able to execute the contract. Because at the end of the day, it may be your government's intention to do big push, but for us, the citizenry, and I was talking about Enche the other time, Western North Enche. There are many parts around the Akachi area. If you are going to the Northern Volta, Rara, Kaja Chrome, very bad. Look, there are bad roads all through. Forget about year of roads, second year of roads, another year of roads. They did what they could. The past administration did what they could.
It's now your turn.
But now it's your turn. And you cannot be playing by the same playbook. That one, we don't go agree. We don't go agree. So I like the minister's approach. The next point is that if the people are not performing, let them go. It doesn't matter who they are or what they are. If they are not performing, they are not doing the work, let them go. That's all.
And if you live in a community where the rains have exposed the poor nature of the road, it would be nice for you to share that with us via Facebook. That's where we're streaming, 3FM927. It's our Facebook handle. Same handle as well on YouTube, 3FM927. Send a message to us there and we'll do the reading for you. We'll get into the papers now. I'll start off with the Ghanaian Times. Big banner story. Post IMF extended credit facility. The signature
DJ Phil actually takes his bath at 4 a.m. to come to work. If you allow him to play these things, it's like
yes, signature tune for the newspapers.
He has a former presidential height.
He didn't hear that. So
no, he will not hear it.
He didn't hear it. So we're out of the IMF, at least not out completely, but in terms of extended credit facility.
Yeah.
We're out of that. Post-IMF Extended Credit Facility Program, government to invest 1% of GDP in key sectors. That's according to the president. I'll be reading that story to get exact details of what it is that he's been saying. Resist doctrines alien to Christian values. Reverend Wengam is saying this. Blue Water Guards record gains against Galamsey. No blanket renewal of mining leases, experts tell government, and over 5 million Ghanaians may have kidney disease. Hey.
Yeah? Say that again.
Over 5 million Ghanaians may have kidney disease. That story is on page 13 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. A professor of medicine and nephrology. I'll come back to it. Let me open the paper down. I'll come back to it to get the details, because that is
it's scary,
as it comes.
Very scary.
As scary as it comes. Defend Christian values. Reverend Wengam is saying this. It's a picture of him with Dr. Agnes Namomu Latte and Mrs. Wengam and Reverend Wengam. Afokos ex-headmaster endorses his leadership skills. Paul Afoko with his ex-headmaster Robert Ajeni campaigning is fast underway for the respective positions.
Headmasters are coming to give testimonials. Charlie, the race is not for the swift.
He's been there before, but he's facing quite the competition from a number of faces.
Chairman
Wontumi, John Buedu.
John Buedu was supposed to be chairman.
Yes.
Chairman Wontumi wants to be chairman. I thought they were
John Buedu
in the league together. John Buedu and Chairman Wontumi. Well, what happened? Dichotomy.
Well, they are seeking to occupy the high position
occupy
of chairman.
till I come. Okay.
So yes.
I see.
We'll see whether or not someone will step down for another.
Chairman and vice chairman.
Also, Abronye, others remand political persecution. Alexander Penjomarkin is saying this. He addressed a news conference yesterday and was speaking in relation to this and had some choice words for a number of judges. Buffer store case, Hanan and wife charged over 62.6 million cedis theft. 7 Ivorian stowaways rescued at Tema Port. Those are the details on the front page of the Daily Guide.
The Daily Guide.
The last one I have is a BNFT. IMF backs post-bailout framework as government pursues fiscal credibility. UG professor ranked Africa's #1 marketing scholar.
That's Professor Ebo Hinson.
Yes.
Great guy.
Yes.
By all standards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
His friends call him Bob.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he's a good guy. This is the second time he's getting that Global African Award. Professor Ebo Hinson. Great guy. Great man by all standards.
Absolutely. And Professor Ebo Hinson, congratulations to you one more time. Ghana Publishing Company Limited returns to bold and strong cash position. Over 80% of fishers recognize close season as scientific based. Data is the new gold, and Chamber of Mines challenges IEA claims over gold fields lease. And so that is that.
The Finder newspaper, or the new Finder newspaper, I should say, is Bank of Ghana. His photo is here. It says financial sector assets hits 647 billion Ghana cedis. That's 647 billion Ghana cedis. Government urged to privatize ECG operations. Comes with a photo of the Minister for Energy and Green Transitions, Dr. John Chenapo. Government extends fuel support for 2 pricing window. Marina, this is good news for me and DJ Phil.
Yeah, the fuel support is actually still there, but the prices are.
It was for a period, but now it's been extended. Yes,
it was a month.
It's been extended for 2 pricing windows. DJ Phil, we're in good company. Reduce financial pressure on young people. Analysts to government. I agree with you. Ghana to raise $1 billion cocoa bonds from July 2025. And public service announcement.
Yeah.
If you ever see a tanker that has had an accident or is in distress and the fuel is leaking, don't go there and go and look for fuel. You may kill yourself. The Daily Graphic this morning says, enough talk. Ghana must become nation of builders. Otumfuo charges Ghanaians. His Royal Majesty, I agree with him 2,000%. Professor Ebo Hinson named Africa's most influential marketing thinker again.
And that's a picture of him.
In fact, the Daily Graphic should have said Professor Hinson named Africa's most influential marketing thinker again, with an exclamation mark. So Senior Bob, happy day to you, and congratulations to you. We are proud of you. We celebrate you, and he's a great guy by all standards. And he's also a very, very key in the church, man of God. He knows his Bible very well. He uses his biblical verses and passages to teach marketing and sales and all of that. So congratulations to you, Professor Ebo Hinson. Anyebo. New economy model takes shape. That's also on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Set for 2027 budget, $1.6 billion private sector boost for jobs. And large mines spend $25.2 billion locally over a decade. That's according to the Chamber of Mines engineer, Dr. Togbi Ken Ashigbe, as the CEO of the Chamber of Mines there. On the back page, we said Mediama crowned Ghana Premier League champions. Mediama FC.
Yeah.
Over Accra Hearts of Oak.
Hearts even lost this weekend.
Over Ashanti Kotoko.
Yeah.
Over Great Oli Gbogbo.
Oli is not even in the league.
Oli Dade.
They are not even
Oli Nkonso. Oli Philip. Hearts stumble at Summertex. Oh, my own Accra Hearts of Oak. No, there's something wrong somewhere. Charlie, the story that you put down, let's take a look at it.
Yes, so over 5 million Ghanaians may have kidney disease. The story is by Enoch in Tiamwa Siao. It says a professor of medicine and nephrology at the University of Ghana, Professor Vincent Boima, has raised concern over the growing burden of chronic kidney disease in the country, disclosing that more than 5 million Ghanaians may be living with the condition. He further revealed that people of Akan origin face a significantly higher genetic risk of developing the disease. According to him, Akans record the highest prevalence of high-risk variant of the APOL1 gene, with 37.2% carrying 2-risk variant. This compares with 19% among people of Ga origin and 17% among those from the Volta region. Professor Boima explained that while the gene originally evolved to protect Africans from sleeping sickness, it now poses a health risk by increasing susceptibility to kidney disease. He made these observations during his inaugural lecture at the University of Ghana, Legon, in Accra on Thursday. The lecture was on the theme From Genes to Minds: Holistic Pathways to Precision Kidney Care for Africa. He noted that about 13.3% of Ghana's population was affected by kidney disease, with most patients falling within the productive age group of 20 to 50 years. Individuals with 2 of these variants have about a 25% higher risk of developing chronic kidney disease and an 84% increased risk of severe kidney inflammation, he said. Professor, I'm tempted to finish the story, and Professor Boima contrasted this with high-income countries where most patients are above 60 years, stressing that the younger age profile in Ghana had serious implications for productivity and national development.
Galamsey is number 1. Let's stop Galamsey. Number 2, all this excessive shisha and all those things that people are sniffing and drinking and, masses, right? So Galamsey is important, because the other time I tried to give you the chemical formation of what Galamsey water could necessarily be, right? And we agreed around this table that there was a chemical bomb or a nuclear bomb that was being created, because you have what says what do you call it? H2O, that's water, right? You have chlorine, you have alum, and then if you bring the water home, you have salt that you add, the sodium chloride that you add to it, and then at the end of the day, before the water even gets to Ghana Water Company, there's lead, there's mercury. Look at about 6 different chemicals put in one, and it is all going into you. How do you suppose that you survive? So Galamsey is killing us, and we need to be very intentional about it, intentional about stopping it, intentional about making sure that it becomes a thing of the past. That's one. Number 2, I think that also lifestyle matters, because look, do you know what a chimney is, right? You know what a chimney is?
Yeah.
Have you seen our young ladies, our smaller sisters, looking like chimneys, standing all by themselves and smoking what they call shisha? The doctors have told us on this show that one shisha consumption, they what, I don't know how they call it, but it looks like a bulb or something like that. Just one is equivalent to 19 sticks of cigarette. 19. 1 is equal to 19. And somebody on the night can do 2 or 3. The parent doesn't know that the daughter is out there. That was what I was talking about last week when you people wanted to calm me down. About this, what are they? Lancaster and arrangement. They are kind of people who come and join them, and they are there. They don't like to work. They are roaming around with them. When they go roaming with them, they want to belong. They are doing shisha and they are doing all manner of stuff. By the time they are 29, 30, they come back. That's and then they will come to you and they will start a GoFundMe, or they will come to you and say, oh, you have to support me, etc. We are killing ourselves. Back in the day, when they said when they tell you that somebody has a kidney issue, it was, that the person has lived. These days, it is not there. Hypertension is on the rise.
Yeah.
Kidney is on the rise. Liver failure is on the rise. All these things, jaundice is on the rise. Many other. If you go to Korle Bu, I have plugs at Korle Bu, you know that. And you go to them and they tell you the ages of people coming there for whatever. And look, there are younger people, 22, 23, 24, 25, who are doing physio now because they nearly had stroke or they have had some mild stroke attack. So they do physio 3 times a week at Korle Bu. And I'm not sure Korle Bu is the only facility. So the young people, my own young people, they need to take very good care of themselves. People don't drink water, people don't exercise, people don't eat well, people don't sleep well, people don't, they just don't care. They just want to live and it's okay, life goes on. Once I wake up and I can open my eyes and I can breathe, Charlie, I'm fine, everything is okay. What happened to annual checkup? What happened to that? It's a big problem. So what the doctor has said is a very, very important conversation that we must have. Look, dialysis in this country is almost always not available. That's one. Number two, if you find it, it is expensive. So they ought to be very careful out there, I'm telling you.
The part I am going to add to this, I'm going to take a completely different turn. That in reading the story, it suggests that this is more genetic than any other thing. And Professor Vincent Boima in the story suggests to us, per research, because this was an inaugural lecture, and so it will be research based, that our genes evolved to protect us from sleeping sickness. And that evolution of the genes has now made us susceptible to developing kidney failures.
Right.
I want to know how much research we're conducting into this theory that he's put forth, such that, because for me it's a bit surprising, the sheer numbers we are beginning to see. Yes, the lifestyle of the young people and all of that is very concerning and very worrying. But now we're being told that outside of lifestyle, something else within us could be contributing, and that's why perhaps others could have been smoking greater in the past, but now you smoke or you do something small,
there are people,
and it will increase the risk.
But there are people who don't even do any of, they don't drink, they don't smoke.
And
the next moment, kidney disease. The next moment, liver, fatty liver.
Yeah.
So then you ask yourself, so what really causes it? Now it's making sense that the doctor is talking about something that is wired into our system that could be the generative factor for it, really.
We need to, unfortunately, we don't dedicate a lot to research.
Do we care?
Otherwise, this should be a subject area of intense research, such that we begin to understand why. At least there's an explanation as to our genes evolving. Research should be able to help us appreciate and begin to turn that tide against our own selves, where our genes are evolving into helping, not helping, into developing into kidney related matters. Are we contributing to research? The rich folks, are they pumping money into research? Right? God has blessed them; they have enough. We should
but their money is theirs. It's not for you.
Exactly. We should be dedicating a bit more in terms of resources to research, to look into things like this.
Right.
Why is it happening? What can be done in those areas to begin to provide medicine which will correct gene formation, which makes us susceptible to kidney failures? Because the age bracket is worrying.
That's right. 20
to 50 years, where you're supposed to be in your prime,
your productive years,
and 5 million of 30-something million, and it could be rising. It says 13 point something percent. We could be going higher and higher if that continues. We don't have the facilities to take care of over 5 million people
we don't.
Suffering kidney diseases.
In fact, if you go to the renal department, I did an expose on the renal department in Korle Bu, where you got some people to go through the process when they had issues with their limbs. They were charging unapproved fees, and I had to step in and get them to take a look at it. And at the time, the Minister for Health was the ranking member of the Health Committee. They stormed their parliament, instructed them, and then the matter reversed to the old fees. There's a scorecard. That's what we do. But I visited the place myself, and look, people come to queue around maybe 3 a.m., 4 a.m. just to undergo dialysis, one session of dialysis, because the machines are not enough, and because the number of people who have to use that same machine are many. Some time ago, I went there, tap was closed, and you need a lot of water to wash stuff, and then blood and come back to. Charlie, it's a whole process. If you are not there yet, don't push yourself in there with your own activities and with your own hands. Don't do that, because I have had cause to. I saw. Okay, so this was about 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, I saw some boys. These are like secondary school leavers, and they were standing by a certain street corner. I'd gone to buy my buffruit, as they call it. You people say, buffalo. What's it called? I call it buffruit.
Buffruit is buffruit.
Buffruit is buffruit.
I mean, in our local parlance.
So I went to buy my buffruit. I was just negotiating a cab when I saw them in the dark, in some corner. So I risked it. I parked my car. Typical Johnny Hughes. And I walked to them. We gave ourselves fist bumps. And then I said, Charlie, what's happening? And then I noticed that one of them had a lighted cigarette, was smoking. So I told him, that it is illegal to be smoking around here because this is not the designated smoking area. You're not supposed to be smoking in public. There's a law that prohibits you or precludes you from doing that. He said, Chairman, minimo. Then the other one said, no. I said, okay. Then I asked them, have you read what notice is on the pack of cigarette?
And that's the interesting bit.
So then they say, maybe normal, they draw some heart. So this was what they said. They say, they draw some hearts. He did there, one be black, one be red, blah, blah, blah.
By the way, buffruit is buffalo.
Please, it's
Thomas Adote Papusen.
It's buffruit. Tell him it's buffruit. His mother will tell you buffruit.
Buffaloes.
Buffruit.
That's just by the way.
Buffruit. So then I asked them to read the thing, and they read it to me, suggesting that smoking can be harmful to your health, Surgeon General, Then I asked them, so do they know what they are doing to themselves? They say, so this is what the guy who spoke said. The guy said, he said, what can take if you, like, I don't know how to explain it in English, but it looks like he's using it to ginger himself.
Yeah.
And I said, no, don't do that. There are many other things that you want to ginger yourself. Find ginger, mash it and put it in your teacup. Add some lemon and honey to it. It will ginger you anyway. Are you looking for this to intoxicate you and ginger you? And that was how I got the 4 boys to disperse. I don't know if they reassembled when I had left, but at least I know that as of the time I spoke with them, they were able to disintegrate and go their separate ways and all of that. We need to be very intentional about our younger people, going to the schools to talk to them, engaging them in church, pastors, opinion leaders in society, chiefs, malams, imams. Everybody needs to come on board to. It's the next generation we are talking about. If your workforce now has kidney diseases, what it does is that it slows you down. And once it slows you down, it means that your productivity is low. And once your productivity gets low, somebody else has to come and do the job. And if somebody else does the job, it means that you don't have a job. That's all. It's as simple as that. We need to explain it to them in that manner. Mm-hmm. Then they understand, then they get a sense of what we are talking about. But it's buffalo and what?
It's buffaloes.
And cocoa.
A few of you are sending messages to us this morning. This one from Sly Oliver AW says, Johnny and Mawina, our food contains artificial colorants, seasoning cubes used in cooking, and even some herbal medicines. All of these contribute to it. A number of individuals say good morning as well.
I agree with him. This eating outside is a problem. You're not too sure.
Never too sure.
No. You're not too sure. And I used to live at Kaneshie. Sometimes the people who do their chop bar business or whatever it is, Charlie, they come, tomato is rotten, maggot, everything. They just put everything together and blend them. They are blending everything because when you come, you will complain that the food is expensive. So they will blend everything, get you the cheapest of the cheapest, and you will eat it, whether you like it or not. They blend everything. Blend everything from garden eggs to blended. It's there. So whether you like it or not, you're already in the soup. You are eating it, blended. And even if they were feeding just adults, but even children are also eating the same thing. So can you imagine what you are introducing into your body, the microorganisms that you are introducing into your body, and how that goes to affect you, in the long run. And woe betide you if you are closer to this person, and every afternoon that's where you eat your meal. You are in trouble. You are in big trouble. I don't know why, in terms of food safety, we are not so conscious as a people. We talk about Sudan dye in our palm oil. We talk about kokonte in our groundnut paste, kokonte powder in our groundnut paste. We talk about all the adulterations that happens. But who is really watching? When I go to my beloved tamale, for example, I would bring groundnut paste. I gave my mother just a bowl of it. She prepared a full, a full saucepan of soup, right? And even brought me some, just one. Meanwhile, I can buy that same quantity at Carnation Market or Malamata Market, or even at Bubulush, and it will not be up to what this one that I bought from the north was able to generate. So then the question is, why do we do this to ourselves? When they finish, they will all go to church. You have gone to commit a serious crime against humanity, and you are saying you for what?
I want us to listen to Alexander Afenyo-Markin, who's been speaking in relation to the arrest of Abronye and a host of other individuals. His thought on it, because yesterday he addressed a news conference and demanded the release of Abronye and some other persons. I want us to take a listen to him, and then I'll come for quick thoughts as well in relation to what it is that he said from that news conference from the weekend.
Man, Kwame.
As well in relation to the development from there. Okay, I'll have that rectified and have us listen to him as to exactly what it is that he said at that news conference yesterday.
Prosecution. It does not authorize the marching of a man before a circuit court, the stripping of his liberty, and his consignment to state intelligence facility. That is not justice. That is the iron fist of state power wearing a legal glove. 18th of May 2026, Mr. Abronye was arraigned before Circuit Court 9 here in Accra. He faces 2 counts. First, offensive conduct conducive to breach of the peace under Section 2071 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960. Second, publication of false news under Section 2081 of the same statute. And what is the foundation of these charges? A social media video in which Mr. Abronye criticized a circuit court judge. He questioned that judge's impartiality. He questioned the conduct in the discharge of the public duty as provided for in the judge's judicial function. That is the sum total of his alleged crime. He spoke. He criticized a public officer. By the way, since when did criticizing a judge become a criminal offense in Ghana? Section 2071 requires conduct that is likely to occasion a breach of the peace, Political criticism of a public official, however sharp, does not meet that threshold. It is protected expression under Article 21(1)(a) of the 1992 Constitution. A man expressing a political opinion about judicial conduct is not publishing false news, not by any honest reading of that provision. This prosecution of Abronye is built on sand, and we, the party, will watch it fall. The bail denial. A judge who forgot his oath. By the way, that was not his first. Let me turn to what happened in that courtroom. It demands its own separate and pointed rebuke. Counsel for Mr. Abronye presented a bail application. He argued on solid grounds. The charges, as we all know, are misdemeanors. The accused, as it was made known to the court, has a fixed place of abode. He is a known public figure with reliable sureties. His health and family responsibilities were placed before the court. The prosecution opposed bail on one ground only, that Mr. Abronye, if released, was likely to commit similar offenses. I repeat, according to the prosecution, in opposing the bail application, it said that if Mr. Abronye is released, he was likely to commit similar offenses. In other words, the state asked the court to imprison a man before any findings of guilt because he might speak again. His offense was speaking. A court agreed. A citizen was therefore imprisoned, not for what he did, but for what he might say. That is not law. That is censorship from the bench. That reasoning is a constitutional disgrace. It is irreconcilable with Article 14 and 19 of the 1992 Constitution, which guarantee personal liberty and the presumption of innocence. A judge who denies bail because an accused may continue to express political opinions has not administered justice. I say what I'm about to say as a practicing lawyer, as someone who has spent his professional life in courtrooms, who has profound respect for our judiciary and deep admiration for those who carry the weight of dispensing justice. I say this not in anger, but in fidelity to the Constitution I have sworn to uphold, and with all the candor, humility, and respect I can command. When a court denies bail not to serve justice, but to serve silence, it has administered political censorship from the bench, and that, with the greatest respect, is a betrayal of every principle that gives judicial office its authority, its dignity, and its legitimacy.
That's Alexander Afenyo-Markin. He is the minority leader who's been addressing a news conference from yesterday in relation to the arrest of Abronye. And he raises a number of concerns. One that continues to come up every now and then, the publication of false news, the threats to the breach of peace, and the denial of bail of persons who make unsavory comments from time to time. Justified, is he not, to question why he was not granted bail and why the law is continuously being used to hound persons, that particular legislation?
I listened to the leader, Osahin Afenyo-Markin, Kwame Afenyo-Markin, and I almost hear a re-echo of what some party elements within his party have said. I mean, I have enormous respect for Afenyo-Markin, but he also raises questions about human rights and all of that. There's free speech. What you say on the altar of free speech is what will be criticized and what will be highlighted to suggest that you either hate society in the wrong place or you just went on a rampage not knowing the full age of the conversation. But then, having said that, Mr. Afenyomarkin or Sahina Afenyomarkin also has to, lead from the front as the leader of the opposition and make sure that his voice is heard with clarity and with all the confidence that he marshals. And I think he's doing just that. Marina, we have free speech in this country. What you do with your opportunity for free speech is what the problem is. Why is he being held? And I've never subscribed to "I'll show him where power lies" concept, because it does happen in this country, whether you like it or not. It does happen. But in this particular case, is it being showed where power lies? That I was hoping to hear from the minority leader, that this is what we have been able to find, aside the conjecturing nature of the speech, and also, right from the back, trying to tell us what pertains and what is not supposed to pertain. I believe strongly that if the security apparatus has any inclination to know that what you said or what you are doing may endanger us or will endanger us, I think that they reserve the right to pick anybody up. The only point is where we are now trying to equalize and make it look political and not necessarily not enforcement of the law. Enforcement, as Captain Diaminu will say, enforcement of the law belongs to the military. Maintaining law and order is what the police does. Yeah. Now, in trying to put it out there and let people who have rights under that law, in fact, we all do, be able to exercise their rights in freedom and in complete joy and comfort. That's what I wanted him to speak about, because at the end of the day, the people said things. Abronye said things. The matter is before court, so I won't go into the details. But he said things, and the things he said, does the police in any way believe that it is time for us to invite him for a conversation? And if we think that his continuous stay out there would interfere with the investigations we have, then we may have to hold on to him. I'm not for let's show him where power lies, and we do that a lot in this country. As low as it could get, we do that a lot in this country. So we hear Osahin Afenyomarkin, yes, but you see, he must also rein his back into order. He must rein his back into order. Where you have people like Koka and all those other people who are towing the line of Chairman Woon to me, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes they go to Yoko. And this is about the fourth time I've seen Koka issue warnings to persons who are doing their dutiful work, either as Yoko officials or CID or police or whatever it is, and tells them the time will come, the times will change, and they will not take you with them. You will be here. We will deal with you. Metzner, we need you. Blah blah blah. That's literally a threat, if you ask me. But if Koka is picked up, what will people say? That he expressed himself and he was arrested. You have a right to express yourself, but how are you expressing yourself?
I think I saw that video. That was a threat.
And that's not the first one. Look, when same Chairman Wutumi was picked up at Iyoko, went to Iyoko, stood there, the people who were looking at the crowd from the windows up there in the Iyoko, the old Parliament House, and he says, "You are watching me, you are laughing at me. Power will change. I will find you." That's a threat. If today he is picked up, people will say, "Hey," and he's speaking up, and we are picking. But you see, you have the right to speak, but what you say must be within the remit of the law. The remit of the law. You cannot go outside the remit of the law in the name of free speech. You don't have to be silly to be smart. You don't have to do that. So you have to stay within the law. What does the law say? In the past, people have been picked up for saying less. In fact, and I was even talking last week about Dr. Bawumia and his wife and President Akufo-Addo and the former First Lady. I was talking about that. And I said, look, Dr. Bawumia now is talking about free speech and all of that. There were many things that happened under his watch as chairman of the police council that did not get his attention, that were complete infractions on all of those. So he perhaps should be the last person to be talking about that. What the leader of the house Alexander Afenyomarkin has said, is a sequel to all the pre-conversations that we have had relative to press freedom, why people are being picked up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying that if somebody goes to a police headquarters or somebody goes to Accra Regional headquarters in the name of I support a party and literally says that, oh, now we need Jesus, when power changes, I will literally curtail your joy and your comfort. You are threatening the person. Then you go to another place where you point at somebody looking over through the window, over the crowd and say that, oh, your power will change. We will show you something. You are threatening the people. If such a character is picked up, will it be curtailing free speech? That's the question. So the leader, who is my good friend, perhaps has to do some introspection and tell his people that, look, this is not how to go. This is not how to go.
Right.
This is certainly not how to go.
I agree with you in part that there are a lot of individuals who criticize the government. Alexander Afenyomarkin being one of them. I think last week he was here on an interview with us at TV3, and he criticized the government fairly. There are a host of other persons who criticize the government and are not picked up. To put this in proper perspective, an argument could be made that, oh, they are members of parliament, there's immunity for them and blah, blah, blah.
No.
Miracles Abuaji criticizes the government. It's consistent on that front.
Right.
And it's not picked up. I want to say that, look, sections 207, 1 and 208 are laws that respectfully the police should stop wasting everybody's time in picking persons up in relation to them. That's the position I believe. And in fact, I agree with Oliver when he says that, Oliver Bakavomo, that look, the Attorney General should be looking at these and the sole preserve. You should take the power away from the police to prosecute on these matters, because sometimes it can be an unnecessary distraction in terms of public discourse and what matters for us to have a conversation about. Do I agree that what Abronye said is tantamount to the breach of peace? No, I do not agree. I do not agree at all. Do I agree?
What did he say?
I think he took on the judge, accused her of being partisan and what have you. That is not that is not a statement.
But somebody has stood in open court and insulted a judge before, a former member of parliament, and called the judge's name in open court.
So those are matters.
Nobody picked the name. Those are not matters that are isolated. No.
No, I'm not, I wasn't even going to say isolated.
He was. Kennedy Agyapong wants to be president of this country at some point, though. In fact, he contested the primaries with Dr. Bawumia and lost for the second time. But he wants to be president of this country.
Yeah.
And the good example that he could show was to stand in open court and insult a judge. And that will not be the first time. He insulted a judge in open court. What happened to him? Nothing. So I'm saying that if the police is minded, they should apply the rules evenly, and crime does not expire. He stood in court, open court, and insulted the judge to his face. Insulted the judge to his face and told the judge that he will be shown where power lies. He wants to be president. Is that the kind of president we are looking for? Another Donald Trump Pro Max? Okay.
So, and the point you make is, if it should be applied fairly, right? But I believe,
if he was not picked up, why has Abronye been picked up?
Fair question.
You get the point.
Yeah, fair
because
question.
Even Abronye's own, he said it remotely, not before the judge. He said it on his own platform.
It was in relation to arrest.
Even though I think that he, being a student of the law, needed to have exercised restraint by trying to, because as a student of the law, somebody who is learning, you must hold a bench and the bar in high esteem.
Absolutely.
He failed that litmus test by going ballistic in that particular manner, making the judge look partisan, blah blah blah, whatever it is, that because the judge was only applying principles, precedent, and the law itself. and playing by the arguments that you brought to them, the facts as you presented them, and based on that weighed the scale and decided that it should tilt in the favor of this person or that person. If you are not happy about it, there's always a mode of appeal that you can go to. You can go for an appeal and appeal the decision of the judge. But for you to sit, was it not the same individuals who were telling us to go to court anytime there was an issue? That go to court. What happened to the court? Did the court suddenly shut down? Or did the court suddenly become evil? Or did the court suddenly become a prohibited place from visiting? He, as a student of the law, should have known better. That when you are dealing with a judge, you have to be very, very cautious. Even those of us who are not learning, we are very cautious and very, guided in the way we do things. But then, beyond all of that, what he said, should it have warranted what he's facing now? That's the question. Should it?
Shouldn't. Which is why, like I said, I believe you should not be picked up over those comments, because in no way, and we've seen the police try to prosecute persons in relation to this legislation before. It ends up nowhere. It never goes anywhere, because you have to prove the element as to how the comment he made is tantamount to breaching the peace of the country. And more often than not, they cannot prove it. And so the point is that they are wasting all of us our time. But also, the politics and the commentary which surrounds criticizing government can be cleaner. And so we hear you, leader, that the police has no business in picking up these individuals over matters conducive to the breach of peace. If anything, the courts provide a remedy for when someone makes or insults you. You can ask them that you can take them on civilly. It's not a criminal matter, right?
Yeah.
And so that should be the preserve of the judge that they will want to do that. Even there's contempt that lies readily available to judges and all of that. We've seen that applied. I mean, the debates can go on as to whether or not contempt should continue to be in existence in our laws, but it is there, and you can say that you cited the person for contempt of court in disparaging the courts and all of that. But to go round this tangent, we've seen it in their time.
Yes,
and we are seeing it in this time.
And we complain about it.
It doesn't go anywhere. In fact, it's a waste of public resources.
We complain about it. Look, using state resources to prosecute civil issues.
Like that will not go anywhere.
Yeah.
During the NPP's time, we saw persons picked up in relation to this.
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Captain Smart.
Where did it go?
It didn't go anywhere.
It was just a waste of time. You make the people more popular.
So let me show you where power lies. That's the whole point. Let me show you where power lies. You understand?
But I'll also sit behind this desk and say that, respectfully, some of the political leaders, the commentary can be better. Yes, they are civil matters, but the fact that the law says that should be dealt with in a civil process does not give you the license to sit on a platform and denigrate persons.
I've had my own share. Kennedy Japan, Aboa Papu, Hopes in Adoye, they sat on 2TV, they told blatant lies about me. Yes, some of them are trying to apologize and coming to Roland Walker and Kukiti are my examples of are my witnesses in terms of apology. Emoji, the musician, he's also a witness, But the point is that why would you, for the life of you and for every dignity that you have been created with, want to tell lies about people when you know that it is actually a lie? So if the person had lost their life or lost his job or lost something that was more valuable to the person, that would have made you happy because then a political party or your desired candidate would have won an election. Is that what it is? Is that all humanity is reduced to? that it has to be about politics, it has to be about what I'm getting out of it, and I'm not getting anything, and if he's standing in my way or he's asking questions that would perhaps not make people listen to the message but start demanding also for the answers, then we must try all that we can to do all. It doesn't make sense to me in any way. Look, in the MPP today, one of the realest people you can find in the MPP in terms of human relations, etc., is Alexander Kwame Apenyomake. In the MPP, I'm saying this on record. Osahin Alexander Apenyomake, one of the realest people you can find in the MPP today. Somebody like Bernard Okoboy, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, one of the realest people you can find in the MPP. Titus Glover. There are few of them. Kamal Din Abdullahi. There are few of them who, like, they see reason, they have conversations, they like, you would admit, they would say, oh, Charlie, ask for this one, or my brother, and it's a brother conversation. It's a sister, Haja Loratu, one of the realest you can find in the MPP. They are not overly partisan. They are partisan, yes, but in terms of seeing reason and saying that, oh, as for this one, I think that on this level and on that level it is wrong and let's stop it. And then there are those who don't see anything. They only see elephant, blue, white, and red. Finish. There are the people who don't see anything. They only see umbrella, red, black, green, and white. They don't see anything more. So even when you are making a common sense argument to them, it doesn't matter. And those are the people who are actually drawing us back and hurting us as a country. You can do your politics, but at the end of the day, when the elections are done, there's a nation to build.
Yeah.
Which has been my clarion call since time immemorial. Since I started practicing, since time immemorial. It's been the likes of Kojo Poku and the rest. They know me. Kojo Poku knew me way back when I was at Pravda Radio. This was more than 12, 15 years ago. At Pravda Radio, back then. There are people who, like, you listen to them and you have conversations with them, and it's on a level ground. Like somebody like Engineer Kwabena J.J. Pong. You may disagree with him on political ideology, whatever it is, but when you come and you're having an intellectual conversation, you find that conversation right there. There are people who are overly partisan, and sometimes they do it to the point where they actually undo themselves. That's where Abronya is headed. They do it, and they do it to the point where they undo themselves. Look, people are not taking time to look at Abronya's CV. Abronya is very well educated. Very well educated. Very. So now then you want to match that with some of the things that he's able to say that educated people are not expected to be saying publicly on media or in the media that is broadcast everywhere. He's very well educated. So why would he say a thing like that? Why? What is the end game? What is the end goal? That's the conversation. What's the end goal?
For someone who's very educated, sometimes I'm very surprised.
I'm saying that what is the end goal? It's the end goal. If somebody who has not stepped foot in a classroom before, or somebody who truncated his education at primary 3 or primary 4 makes some of those comments, you can grant it and say, oh, maybe, even though I don't believe that education is just in a classroom, education is also in life. Before the white man came, we were being educated as Africans. And I've always disagreed with how our history books begin with when the white man arrived on the coast. Before the white man came, we were living, we were educating ourselves, we were enlightened in our very own way. Until the white man came, he only brought language to come and add on to what we have and a few other things. And we decided to pander to them. But if you are very well educated, not 1 master's degree, not 2 master's degree, you are reading the law, why would you say a thing like that? Something that my 12-year-old niece would not say. Why would you say a thing like that? Why would you say a thing like that? The people are looking for you, and then you decide to give them a platform to come and find you, to pick you up. Why?
Well, that will end our musings on this particular subject matter. The conversations in relation to politics can be clean. I completely disagree with the police on continuously wasting their entire nation's time with picking persons who make comments in relation to misdemeanors, putting them through the courts, and bail being used as a means to punish them, or remand being used as a means to punish them, and all of that. That can be cleaner.
Yeah.
Right. That can be cleaner, but so can the commentary in relation to governance and other things.
Yeah.
Persons have criticized this same judge. You know,
look, criticize.
They don't go down the line in which some of the commentators
criticize by all means. Me, I criticize people. I take criticisms too. Say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean. Say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean. I repeat, say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean. You can disagree with people by not being disagreeable. Where the first batch of your commentary is supposed to be laced with insults, it is not good. See, the younger generation, the younger people, they are looking up to us. The younger people, they listen to us, they watch us, they are listening. If they are not watching in real time, they get time to look at their parents' phones or their own tablets, and it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. They go there, they see it.
Was it not last week Kamaldeen was saying, their child was saying,
yes,
this is NPP,
yes, Tuntea,
this is NDC.
The blossoming flower, beautiful Tuntea, intelligent, smart young lady. She said, look, I don't like this one because he's NDC. I don't.
That's a sort of upbringing.
So now it comes back to the earlier point I raised about Kamal and Okoboy and Titus Glover and Apenyo Marking and a couple of them. Lawyer Andre Siama, Deputy Speaker, very level-headed people. So you see, Kamal, he admitted on air that this is what he saw is a dangerous trend, and we must all work to make sure we reverse the trend. Somebody else who have been very partisan about it. That's what I'm talking about. That we must let level heads prevail at all time. Look, I can criticize Phil. Ask him. Sometimes I ask him tough questions about some music he played, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't mean that we are enemies. We are not enemies.
Yeah.
He is playing on the show on which I am with him. He is in charge of the music department. You and I, we are in charge of the talk department, right? But then if he's playing music that I think is not helping, I will ask him.
He's not gingering you, probably.
Hey, my brother, this one, you're not gingering me, so put some ginger in the thing. He will take it in good faith. He too, sometimes when I'm asking some questions, this one, but this one, you hit so hard, I say, okay, I'm sorry, my brother, next time I'll do better. That's how we work. That's how we're supposed to work as a country. A complements B and B complements A. That's how it's supposed to work. Where did this all overly partisan thing come from? To the point where now we are sending it into tribal politics. Have you noticed that trend, Marina? Tribal politics, tribalism, proper tribal politics. Where we are now saying that, oh, a person is from tribe A, tribe B, and people cannot even speak their language in peace. I am not a Dagban. I'm not a Dagomba by birth. I'm privileged to have been given chieftaincy title in Dagban land. So I'm trying as much as I can to try and also understand the language and to speak it, and to feel. And it's a beautiful language. How does that make anybody tribal? If somebody is speaking their language and you don't understand, humble yourself and let them teach you. And let them explain. But to just dispel it and say that, then you destroy everything. How do we look? The whole concept of boarding schools in this country, Mawena, was to make sure that everybody is integrated.
Yeah.
The whole concept of boarding schools. There are people who came from Ashanti region who came to your school in the Volta region. No. There are people who came from Greater Accra who came to your school in the Volta region. No. There are people who came from my beloved Tamale, my beloved Northern region, Savannah region, blah, 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 who came to your school. No?
Yeah.
There are people who came from Oti who came to your school. Enchi, Western, North, who came to your school. And the whole concept is that we must teach our people to know that we are together. And today, some of them who you have formed friendship and bonds with, the group that you call your family, are they all from Volta region?
No.
They are not all from Volta region. That's the whole concept of boarding school in this country. So after many years of experimenting boarding school and actually doing it and making sure that we have created bonds and people have become closer together with each other, why do we suddenly want to now inject tribalism into the national discourse? Is that what we need? We are looking for the lights to be on. We want the water to flow. We want fuel prices to drop. We want food to eat. We want money in our pocket. We want the dollar to be stable. We want the economy to be robust. We want to sustain the economy. That's what we are looking for. We are not looking for tribe A or tribe B.
A few more comments on Facebook, and then we can make way for sports here on the 3FM Sunrise. Father Imani says, okay, Paulina and Charlie says, Apenya, just tell Abronye to be responsible in what he says in public. He has to be a law-abiding person. That's one.
I agree with him.
Atoke Skyman Airbender says, this country cries, so can't government procure dialysis machine in excess? I'm sure some African leaders don't have basic common sense to keep their citizens alive.
So somebody says, Father Imani, he says, Johnny was not in this country when Sammy Gyamfi threatened some policemen that their positions were coterminous with that of the NPP. What was his position?
I don't think that was...
Sammy Gyamfi did. He said they should be careful. And maybe he has not followed me enough. My position, I don't flicker. I don't waver. My position is my position. You can be my friend. You can be my father. I'll tell you. The position I'm espousing today was the same thing I said back then. If you like, the tapes are available. And I'm not one who deletes things from his Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or WhatsApp page. I go straight to the point. I'm saying if I told Sammy Gyamfi then, I'll tell Afenyomakin today, I'll tell Abronye tomorrow. If my good friends Kamal Dean, Okuboy, I will tell them to their faces. If my good friends Takando, I will tell them to their faces. I don't fear no foe. Like they say in Ghana, I will tell you. If you like, let the friendship cease. That's all. But I said it. So, Father, I said it back then. You have not followed through. And sometimes, interestingly, people like to listen to what they say. They don't want to listen to what has been said.
Yeah.
People like to listen. They always come back. Me, for some good reason, God blessed me with a very picturesque mind. So I keep things in my head. And I said, I remember I said it. If you doubt, I can pull it and share with you what it is that I said. And I am saying the same thing today. Nobody should be shown where power lies because power changed.
Absolutely.
No.
I mean,
let the rules apply.
Around this table, I think that's a general admission from all of us that it's a complete waste of everybody's time if persons are subject to a law that really they will not prove in court. And in the end, it will go nowhere.
A criminal matter is beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah, let's not waste.
It's not balanced on the scale of probabilities. It's not a civil matter. A criminal matter is beyond reasonable doubt.
The student of the law is speaking.
That's how it is. I'm not a student of the law. This is, you are wearing black and white. You are giving me pressure like Kekujo.
No. Kekujo is on.
Yeah, Kekujo is there. Good morning to K. But the point is that let the principle be one. Let's all follow the rule. That's all. And this equalization is what has dragged us where we are today. It is wrong. He did wrong. Let him face the music. He did right. Let him dance and come and collect his flowers or her flowers. That's all. If somebody got it wrong, they got it wrong. There's no point trying to be partisan and trying to support. No. No. You can criticize the court. You can criticize the judge. But the moment you move from criticizing to scandalizing, there's a problem.
Yeah.
You know the distinction. So what are we talking about?
This one from K Bills says, "Good morning to the entire team." Says, "Listening as always." It says, "The Ghanaian ears have nowhere better to be but to be with 92.7 every morning. You're doing it all." He adds, Billy Shan.
Charlie, we're live on Kesme 107.1 in Tamale. Always my people in Tamale. Let me say that's about to them. Kaula.
Someone says you have to be given the power to be president of the country.
No, my men's fellowship presidency is enough.
Says they have to add the president of the republic.
If they add it there, then nobody would. You can't misbehave. You understand? You can't misbehave. Charlie, how many days to the World Cup?
I think it's less than a month.
Less than a month. No.
Charlie, are we prepared?
Are you prepared?
Yeah.
We'll see after the
we release
some
55.
55
I saw
man
the day
squad.
It's not. Oh no, that was a fake document too.
It's not a fake document.
No, it's not out in the public. The list has been submitted all right to FIFA, but it's not been made public.
I see.
Yes.
Charlie, how many medals did we win yesterday at the close of the African Athletics?
In total, it's 5 medals: 1 silver, 4 bronze.
All the thing with it is only 5 medals.
Yeah.
You see,
5 medals.
You see why we went to waste that money. 5 medals.
But generally, were we able to recover from the initial?
Yes.
The initial gra.
Yes. Day 1, day 2 wasn't nice, if I should put it that way, in terms of the things that were happening. There were athletes complaining about the feeding. There was the automatic clock not working. There was no access to Wi-Fi and all of that. But all of that was fixed on day 3. So from day 3 going, it was smooth sailing. I even went to the dining hall myself.
So they could fix it, but the people had to complain first.
Which is the point.
See,
which is the point.
So
why must we put them in a position where there is embarrassment?
Can you imagine?
Then we seek to correct it.
Can you imagine that I'm president and this was happening? I will march there. Heads will roll. At that same venue. Heads would have rolled at that same venue. I mean, we know what to do. We have been given the funding to do what we have to do. Then we are holding on to the cash and make people suffer. Look at all the bad press we had. You know, we have not recovered from that.
Needless.
Because all the other 3 days, 4 days that we had good stuff, the Kenyans didn't post it. The Botswana folks didn't post it. The South Africans didn't.
Bad news sells.
They didn't post it.
Sells very, very fast.
If you go onto their pages now, what we saw was the bad stuff. No water, no heater, no blankets, not enough food, blah, 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 blah. That's what they posted. So how are we correcting it? That's the conversation. We did well, we did right by them in the past 3 to 4 days, but then beyond that.
Well, Bill will do sports for us now, after which we're back with a lot more for you here on the 3FM Sunrise. A big conversation. Our guests will join us in studio as well. Stick and stay. This is the 3FM Sunrise.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the sports segment here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Bill Ishen. With one final round of matches remaining in the Ghana Premier League, we begin with game week 33. Now, Midiama will be smiling all the way to the bank as a 5-2 win over Hearts of Lions means the Malvern Yellows are the 2025-26 Ghana Premier League winners. And of course, that will be their second title in the last 5 years. Meanwhile, relegation threatened Nations FC has suffered a 1-0 home defeat to Vision FC. A missed penalty and a rather costly error from Hadina Baru gifted Vision FC in an away victory. Now, my colleague Mutala Yakubu was there and filed this report.
The penultimate round of the Ghana Premier League really produced some fire, not like anything I've seen before. Nations FC losing at home to Vision FC by a 0-0, and the relegation fight is getting interesting. It looks like it could go down to the wire on match day 34. Now, Nations needed to win this game at all costs to ensure that they go into their final game against Karela, not with any pressure on them, but it was Vision that came all the way from Accra to get all the 3 points. Now, goalkeeper Baru made an error that led to a goal for Vision FC. Farouk, who started the season with Nations and was loaned to Vision, was the one that came back to haunt them. Then in the dying embers of the game, Nations got a penalty to redeem themselves and get at least a point from this game. Goalkeeper Baru stepped up again, elected himself to take the penalty and missed in the process, with Vision picking up all 3 points. Painful defeat, actually, for Nations FC, and their supporters are not having it at all. Elsewhere, Gold Stars lost to Dreams FC by 3-1, and today their dream of winning the Ghana Premier League could be shattered should Midiama end up beating Heart of Lions in Takwa. The relegation fight is still on because Karela also got an important victory over Swedro All Blacks. Asante Kotoko lost their game to Bechem United. Brekum Chelsea picked up all 3 points against 11 Wonders who have already been relegated. So let's wait and see what happens in Banda.
Indeed, let's wait and see what happens in the Ghana Premier League. Of course, we have one more match day left to the end of the 2025-26 season. Now, following Vision FC's triumph, assistant coach Burton Asare Wilson says his team executed their game plan to perfection. He also credited goalkeeper Godwin Ametepe and trainer Muntari Tego for an excellent job.
Like I told you from the beginning, we came in with a plan, and credit to the boys. They executed it to perfection, and I can say that kudos to them. You know, when you are coming for such matches, told you the pressure was there, but if they keep their pressure and they play the simple way and take the simple basic decisions, we will do it. And you could see that that was what they were doing. I mean, credit to the boys. Fantastic. And I give credit to the goalkeeper's trainer. He has taken good care of him. He has improved him to this level, and we cannot say much than to thank Godwin and then thank the goalkeeper's trainer in the person of Muntari Tego. It's a teamwork. You could see that he did well, but his defensive line and the entire team too were also helping in defending to ensure that we got the win.
That was Vision FC's assistant coach. Heading over to the final day of the 2026 African Senior Athletics Championships in Accra. Day 6 at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium was a thrilling conclusion to the event. Athletes from across the continent showcased their skills in various track and field events. The following 3 sports reports has.
So day 6 has ended in further disappointment for Ghana at the 2026 edition of the African Senior Athletics Championships. Now, there are a lot of hope on the 200-meter final because Joseph Polamwa, one of the favorites in the competition, was competing in the 200-meter final. But unfortunately, he missed out on the podium of that competition. And then after, there were eyes on the 4x400 meters for both the men and women because there were Ghanaian representation in both competitions when it comes to the final. But unfortunately, both teams failed to make the podium. The women actually finished 4th, and then the men finished 7 out of 7. And so Ghana could not add to their medal tally that they've earned so far in the competition, which is 5 in total. And so they will go into the next tournament having won just 5 in the 2026 edition of the tournament as a host. Of course, there were a number of issues that did happen at the start of the competition, but it was all fixed from day 3 and up until now. It seems it's coming to a successful end.
That was a wrap of day 6 in the Senior African Athletics Championships. Now, Joseph Olamwa, who finished 5th in the men's 200-meter final, admitted he could have performed better. Despite the disappointment, the Ghanaian remains optimistic that the team can bounce back and redeem themselves at the upcoming Commonwealth Games.
That was the main target. No excuses. Everyone that made the podium is a very good athlete, so it was a good competition. I'm not even going to blame anything on what has happened. I just feel like I should have done better. So yeah, I'll just wait until the next time. To be considered as a good athlete, you got to put yourself in. I don't know if I should say fire, but I wanted to test it out. This is probably my second time doubling and getting this far. The first time that I did a double, I didn't even get out of the heat. So to be able to make the finals in the 100, 4x1, and 200, I'm just grateful for this opportunity and then also coming out healthy. So I'm happy about it. There's always a step-by-step thing. Before we go to Commonwealth Games, we have some races on the circuit, so we'll take care of that and then go to the Commonwealth Games and see what we can do over there.
That was Joseph Olamwa speaking. Still on athletics, Ghanaian sprinter Mustafa Bokpin delivered a stunning performance at the Conference USA Championships in Tennessee after clocking an impressive 9.94 seconds to win the men's 100-meter event. The remarkable run makes Bokpin the third fastest Ghanaian in history over the distance, further cementing his status as one of the country's rising sprint stars. Joseph Olamwa, when asked about Mustafa, described the young sprinter as one of the athletes to watch, adding that Team Ghana is fortunate to have such a talent in its ranks.
His ceiling is very high, we are all happy to see that he ran that time. It puts himself in a conversation and also gives us a lot of depth in our relay pool. So we are very happy that he's running that time, and coaches will be taking us for competitions. We'll be looking at that and be very happy, just like with the athletes. Yeah.
That was Joseph Olamwa speaking on Mustafa Bokpin. Now, Ghanaian international Antoine Semenyo emerged the hero at Wembley as his second half strike handed Manchester City a narrow 1-0 victory over Chelsea to clinch the 2026 FA Cup title. Since arriving at the Etihad Stadium, Semenyo has adapted seamlessly to life at Manchester City. His FA Cup triumph means he has already won 2 domestic trophies this season, after previously helping City capture the Carabao Cup earlier in the campaign. Here is the Black Stars forward speaking after that game.
I don't know how I feel right now, to be honest. I feel like I'm quite numb at the moment, but once we get the trophy and stuff, I think they'll kick in more. Yeah, I just tried to improvise the best I could, and yeah, went in the bottom corner, so I can't even complain. I've done it a couple times in training, so I mean, it was behind me, so that was the only thing I could do, and lucky I got good connection, and yeah, I went in the bottom corner. Practice, but if it goes behind me sometimes, I might try a trick or two, and yeah, it worked today, so I'm grateful. It's been hard work, to be honest. Learning a lot, and got top pros around me, top coach, and yeah, it's been a great 4 or 5 months, and long may it continue. Yeah, it is. It shows hard work pays off at the end of the day. Whatever happens in your life, it doesn't mean it's the end. So you just have to keep working hard and you get your opportunity.
That was Antoine Semenyo speaking. Elsewhere in England, Bruno Fernandes declared himself proud, happy and grateful to equal the Premier League record for most assists in a season. The new FWA Footballer of the Year got his 20th top-flight assist when Brian Mbeumo scored in Sunday's 3-2 win over Nottingham Forest, and Fernandes was delighted to draw a level with Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne, who shared the record. Now, Fernandes, who had not created a goal in his previous 2 matches, admitted it had been preying on his mind.
No, obviously I spoke about that. Everyone knew that was important, that I could get another assist at least, and they've been trying everything they can to score from my passes. Was there probably moments today that I should have passed instead of shoot, and still I got the shot, but I'm very happy for the assist. But more than that, I'm very happy for the win and to finish the season on a high. Oh, of course, it's a privilege and a pleasure for me. I won't hide from that. I want collective awards more than anything, but knowing that that your job is being recognized by many people, a lot of players that came out and said, obviously, that for them I was player of the season is very grateful, and I'm very happy with it. I think I got to 20 today. Yeah, let's see. We have one more game. Manager will decide who's going to play the next game. I'll be very happy to do it, but if I don't do it, I'm already very happy.
That was Bruno Fernandes speaking. Before we go, let's do some tennis. Jannik Sinner became the first Italian man to win the Italian Open for 50 years by beating Casper Ruud 6-4, 6-4 in Sunday's Rome final. The world number one became Italy's first male winner of the tournament since Adriano Panatta in 1976. Sinner's triumph on red clay of the Foro Italico also made him only the second man after Novak Djokovic to win all 9 Masters 1000 events, the biggest tournaments outside the Grand Slams, and complete a golden Masters. That's it for the sports segment here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Bill Lishen. We'll see you same time tomorrow with more updates from the world of sports. But until then, have a great morning.